Hey friends, today I am working on the TV stand. So I've got this material I went and picked up from our local steel supplier. It's 2 inches by 4 inches, 120 wall, 118, whatever you want to call it, that I am building it out of. You can see the Z pattern here kind of. These are going to be 2 sides and there's going to be wood in between them. So to start out with, I put them on my saw, cut them to length. And then I used an angle grinder to get these cuts on this piece and these cuts on this piece. I did not do that in my shop. I hate cutting metal and grinding metal in my shop. I don't know why, but that smell, if you've ever cut metal, I just don't like it. But right down here in front of you, or in front of me, I've got these pieces I made out of just some paper. With the dimensions, I basically cut them I cut them square and then laid them all over the top of each other and then just traced where they crossed each other because I didn't want to figure out all the angles and everything. So I laid this, on top of there, traced it with a marker and then cut on those lines. But I am going to tack these all together. I'm going to lay them out, get them all square and everything. And then I'm going to tack them. I'm going to go back through and just weld them all. I've got just a piece of board here on my woodworking table to protect it so that I don't get any weld splatter or anything like that on it. We're going to get her done. Alright, so I've got these all welded up. I've got these tabs welded on here for the tabletop and the centerpiece. I took them outside and ground them all off. That's kind of the look I'm going for, is that kind of ground, raw look. I'm going to leave the steel color on there. I'm going to cover them in a clear coat. I've wiped them all off with kerosene and stuff to clean them. And then I'm going to clear coat them. As far as the tabletop goes, I've just got some 2x4s here, and I've ripped them down to about 3 inches oversize, and then I ran them across the joiner just to flatten the 2 sides. They didn't really need it because they were pretty straight, but I did it because I want some glue surface there when I glue them. So now I'm going to glue the tops and get those done, and while they're drying, I'm going to paint these. I'm not going to bore you with all the sanding, right? Because we all know that sanding sucks and we don't like doing it. But I did want to talk about these real quick. Now, I bought a Bosch orbital sander instead of the, top brand yellow kind. After reading some of the reviews, I wasn't impressed with the reviews I was reading on the other one. A lot of guys had to return theirs. Now, this comes from Europe too. It's made in Germany. But I've used this on a lot of projects, and it has been amazing. If you guys are in the market for one sander, you can get a small orbital sander like this, and this is great for hobbyists, small stuff like that. But if you're going to get into woodworking, I would get a big powerful orbital sander. They're just awesome. It's taken me 10-15 minutes to sand all of it. And I'm not sanding this down 100%. I'm just taking off all the rough edges mostly with some 100 grit paper. I'm going to do a burn on this wood and then put some polyurethane on it for the final product. But anyway, these are fine. They'll get you through. And if that's all you can get it. But I'll put a link down in the description to this one. It's a Bosch. I love it. Like I said, I read the reviews on the yellow ones. They weren't any better than this, and this one's a lot cheaper. Now the tops here have a coat of polyurethane, and it is cold outside, so polyurethane goes on pretty thick. So I only have 2 coats, and it looks like I have like 5 or 6. And I tried to spread it thin, but like I said, it's cold outside, so that poly kind of ran thick. But I put on 2 coats. I sanded in between coats. On the finished coat, I just took a piece of cardboard and rubbed it over the top to break down any little, you know, the standing.